All right, Mixmaster B here for MMBRadio, and on the phone lines right now I have adult film star Jenna J. Ross. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Doing awesome. Glad to have you on, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. I'm looking
Mhm.
at the notes that Erica gave me. Is just all kinds of great stuff that we got to get into. So first things first, you're still kind of new to the game, right?
Well, not really, actually. I'm technically bordering on veteran status. I don't know technically what we would consider veteran here. I've been in for let's see, it'll be 3 years, August 29th. So I'm not like new per se. Like new is under 6 months, I'd say. So
Okay.
I'm in. I'm still climbing to my full potential, but I've been in for a little while.
Okay, so not quite on the Mount Everest of porn yet, but getting there.
I'm at base camp. Let's put it that way.
There you go. Awesome. So a lot of people know and may not know, but you're originally from Boston, right?
Yes, I think a lot of people know that. I get a lot of tweets in regards to me being from Boston. There's not very many of us in the industry from Boston. I think that might be why.
I was gonna say, because next to like Tom Brady and Larry the Legend, like there's you. You're just like you put Boston on the map.
I guess. I mean, I also would say Sammy Adams from hip hop and rap. He raps about Boston, so he too. Romy Rain, she's from Dorchester, so she's another Boston girl. And I think Kristen Price is from Rhode Island, which is encompassed kind of by Boston a little bit because it's so tiny.
So you got a couple people there that are in the area, but what was it like growing up in Boston?
It's cold.
Very cold.
It's cold and there's a lot of snow. I love it. Boston is a very unique place. Like you're never going to find another Boston anywhere in the world, ever. The people there are just, we have this weird loyalty bond to one another. Like if you're from Boston, I automatically consider you cool. Just because I already know that your mentality is going to be very similar to mine. We're going to get along fantastically. I guess it's just like a Boston thing. Growing up there, kind of it gets in your blood, and you can take the girl out of Boston, but you're never really going to take Boston out of the girl.
So what is when people see you and they say, oh, are you definitely from like the East Coast? Like we were talking on Twitter prior to this, and we are saying that like I
Hmm.
know this interview is gonna go great because I just love your swagger, I just kind of love your whole attitude and everything. I kind of feel like West Coast girls are a little more laid back. Do people already assume already like, oh, Boston, like she's gonna be harder to work with, like she's an East Coast girl or what?
Well, the problem that Bostonians run into is that we're very honest and we're kind of to the point and blunt about it. We're not being bitchy, which is how it's perceived. We just are kind of telling it like it is. And like that's what I grew up knowing. Like that's what everybody in my life did, all my friends, everything like that. So when I got out to the West Coast and like came in contact with all different people from all different walks of life, not even just West Coast, but like Midwest and all of that, I realized that they don't really go for the end point. They like to fluff around a little bit and go with the flow, and we'll get there eventually. Whereas East Coast is like, no, I want to be there now, right now. What's the fastest way I can get there?
When did you realize that like you were interested in doing porn and like when did you know like you went from being a little, innocent Jenna J. Ross to Freakzilla?
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't like I woke up one morning and was like, I think I'll make porn today. It doesn't really. I mean, it happens that way for some people, but
That
most of
happens to
us,
me
I think
every morning, by the way. I wake up every morning and say that to myself, I want to make porn, but I just
how many
never
times do
follow.
you do it though?
Yeah, how many times have I followed
You
through
can
on
have
my
that
plans for
thought
the
as
day?
many days as you want. It's when you actually wake up and go do it that it applies. I had been doing nude modeling for about a year before I got into the adult industry because I had wanted to be in Playboy, like every girl on the face of the earth. So I had been doing nude modeling and I really liked it. And when I moved from Boston to Florida, I decided I didn't want to be a waitress anymore. I was basically tired of working so hard and making like nothing. Every girl at some point wants to be in Playboy. It's a phase that every single girl goes through. I happened to actually take pictures to submit to Playboy. I never really heard back from them, but through doing that, I discovered that I really liked being naked and taking pictures. So I just did that for like a year. One of my friends had actually come out to California a couple months prior, and was going to do it and then didn't end up doing it. But either way, she came back alive, so I knew that nothing horrible. Like, I wasn't going to be sold into sex traffic or something terrifying that everyone tells you porn is like, which it's not. So I was on plane like a week later, and I don't know, I jumped in with both feet, never really looked back.
So we got some questions here that people were tweeting in, and I know you have a Tumblr, and I'm looking at some of these questions. So I kind of feel like people just want to hear your voice say the questions, because a lot of these questions are the same as you have on your Tumblr, but we'll try not to duplicate any of them. What is one of the things, I'm sure you probably heard everything. What is one of the things you love the most about being in porn? I mean, rather than, you know, a good paycheck, but like, what's something that you really enjoy about doing it?
Well, I am one of those few people who has found something they love and is lucky enough to get paid for it. So I'm basically like, you find a job you love, you'll never work a day in your life. That is essentially what being in porn is for me. I love my job. It's amazing. I don't do it because of the money. The money enables me to do porn full time. That's how it works.
So what is one of your favorite types of scenes to shoot?
I love all of my scenes. I like playing different characters. So, changing it up, varying it up, having a different style of scene really just fascinates me more than terrifies me or anything like that.
What kind of character do you want to play that you haven't played yet? Whether it be like a superhero or, a political figure or what have you?
I want to be Snow White.
You want Prince Charming to kiss you, or you want Prince Charming to fuck you?
No, I want to do a Snow White parody, but I want to do like Snow White and the 7 whores. I want 7 girls instead of a gangbang.
That'd be awesome.
I think so.
So then when he goes to wake you from a kiss, it's like full-blown orgy.
It would be a
shit.
girl that would wake me, though, because it would be Snow White and the 7 whores. They would be my dwarfs.
I want to see who's going to be like sleazy.
No, right? See? Like, it would be fun.
Yeah, everybody's going to be bidding for that role.
Like a perfect... Well, yeah, all you have to do is play a feeling, though. Everybody would just be playing a different feeling, and it would be great.
So, another fan tweets in. He wants to know, being from Boston, are you a huge sports fan?
Of course. What else do we talk about there?
Rather than park your car in Harvard Yard. That's one thing I didn't realize. You don't have like a Boston accent, like a stereotypical accent.
I do when I get tired.
So you put on the like different accent, or is it just something that just you consciously try not to do?
I have the ability. I have it's called a newscaster accent, if that makes sense. Universally understood. Everybody can understand what you're saying. There's no drawl accents, anything like that. That's not to say that if I have been drinking, I'm really tired, or I'm around somebody else with a thick accent, that my accent won't start to creep back. So I just have the ability to turn my accent on and off. It's like when you talk in like a British accent, or you talk in like a French accent. When people put those on, I just turn mine off.
Okay. Well, if you had to say something like really like dirty or sexual in your best Boston accent, what would it be?
I am so not doing that. I am not petting myself.
What?
I got Ted. I know what they think. We don't say hada. It doesn't happen like that.
Wow, that'd be awesome.
Go watch my porn. That's not how I come. I promise.
I would probably be cracking up if I heard her saying, "Give it to me harder, harder." So
it would be funny, but
so as you mentioned, you were a waitress, and you got into porn. You got into an agency. How many movies have you done to date? Whether it be online or like scenes online.
Scenes. Yeah. 240 something probably. I think that's what my free one said earlier. I don't really remember. 200 and something.
Do you enjoy doing like girl or boy girl? Like which ones do you take the more pride in doing?
I love all, like I said before, if you see me doing a scene, I promise I like that kind of scene. Like, I don't do things I don't like. I don't believe in doing anything that I don't find enjoyable, because I'm supposed to be making an enjoyable experience for a viewer, and how the hell can I do that if I'm not having a good time?
This is
so I don't
true.
do things that I don't want to do on camera, ever. My favorite, if I had to pick a favorite type of scene, I would pick threesomes, because I get my cake and I get to eat it too. So I win. I get both.
Nicely put. Well played. Well played. So, I'm reading here. I did some research on you because God knows when you're going to go and interview a porn star, you have to do something other than look at their videos because I could do that all day. But I saw both your parents have like PhDs in like psychiatry, right?
Oh yeah.
So I guess that was like I got the total mind fuck when you told them you were going to do porn, right?
I didn't tell them anything. I haven't talked to my parents in 5 years. I got into porn 3 years ago. I already wasn't talking to them. Porn's not the reason.
Wow. So that's not the reason why you don't have a relationship with them?
Nope. No, has
Okay.
absolutely nothing to do with it.
And have
I
they
mean, in their minds it might, but like, I mean, I was doing it for about 2 years before they figured it out. So,
so they're definitely aware that you do it.
oh yeah, my mother texted me the other day and used my stage name, and then she friended me on Facebook, and that was really awkward.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward when you haven't spoken to them
Hey,
like
Mom, why do
directly.
you want to see this?
Well, I mean, I know why I want to see it, but I don't think that's the same reason she has.
Right, but let's turn our little psychology back on her. What is the psychology of you wanting to watch your child's porn? I'd really like to know.
I couldn't answer that. I'm not the one with the
Exactly.
PhD.
Yeah, see?
If I had
Right,
the
but I
PhD
mean,
to
this
figure
is
that
this is
out.
what they would do to me. Like, this is how I grew up. Was like every time I would do something, it would be flipped around and somehow turned around on myself.
Now, do you feel like that kind of pushed you to want to be rebellious, or no?
No, I was very, very sheltered my entire life. I was a great kid. I got straight A's. I worked a job. I paid my own cell phone bill starting at like 16. Like, I was very independent but sheltered socially, and that fucked me when I went to college because I was dropped off on a college campus, given 10 grand, and left with a bunch of delinquents who all wanted to drink and do drugs, and that's basically how I was exposed to that world.
So, not having conversation with them, do you feel like um, there's ever a chance that
Oh,
you'll
there was
still
no
talk to
talking to my parents about anything. No. Talking to them is detrimental to my well-being.
them? So
I
there's
tried. I
no
really
coming
did. I
back?
tried to repair the relationship for like a year. It didn't work. I'm not going to put myself through hell so that they can feel like better people.
So, building on relationships, people always get this question. They want to know, like, are you involved with anybody? Like, how do you deal with those type of relationships?
That question. I think that's okay. I've said this so many times, and I've actually gotten it boiled down really good. So here is my view on relationships. I don't believe in conventional relationships. I don't believe in calling anyone a boyfriend or a girlfriend. By assigning this label to them, all I am doing is giving myself rules that society has set forth. Society thinks you're supposed to only be with one person. Society thinks you're supposed to do this for your boyfriend or that for your girlfriend and meet the parents and all of that. This is all things that society is telling us is what a boyfriend or a girlfriend means. Now, I don't live based off society rules, any shape or form. Clearly, I mean, I make porn. That is so outside the realm of society's idea of what is acceptable. So for relationships, all I need is a good friendship and a great sexual chemistry. And if I have both of those, that's all I need with someone to be happy. Everything else just complicates it.
So there you have it. All the guys that kept tweeting me the question, how do you become in a relationship or a conventional relationship with Jenna? It's not going to work. You just gotta be good
You
in the
don't.
sack.
You can't.
As long as you're good in the sack and you guys are gelling, like then you might have a chance of lasting.
Yep.
Simply put. So, all right. So tell me a little bit about Gym Angels.
Gym Angels is my newest series from Digital Playground. It's actually one of the first scenes that I'm actually squirting in, which is cool. So that's something new and exciting that they haven't seen before.
So that was the first time you've ever like squirted on film or in general?
No, it's not the first time. It's one of the first times. Like, see, the problem is even if I squirt during a scene, I don't know when they're releasing that scene.
This
So,
is true.
you know what I mean? Like, calling it my first, like, it's just because it's the first release or because it's the first time it happened with the camera there. Like, what's the first? You know, like, it's one of the first.
So that you can see that exclusively on digitalplayground.com. So anybody that is
Mm-hmm.
interested in seeing the squirting, check it
Episode
out.
2.
Episode 2. So make sure you check that on there. And you also have your own movie now, right?
Yeah.
What's that about? Take us through that.
It's a compilation movie. It's called The Sexual Desires of Jenna J. It's by New Sensations. All the scenes in it are directed by Eddie Powell, who I absolutely adore. He's amazing. It's got 5 scenes, so that's over like 2 hours of footage. And honestly, out of all the scenes they picked, I think they picked my 5 favorites. So, yay, it's now all in one place, and you can buy it from them or Adult DVD Empire or any of those online VOD sites. But don't get a torrent because pay for your porn. It's important.
Definitely. Torrents are like doing it uncovered. If you don't know the person, you're going to catch a virus.
It's not even that. It's like the music
Plus, you're not
industry.
getting the money. Yeah, it just screws the industry. So.
Do you want me to keep making porn for you? Okay, then buy it so that we all can keep doing this. Because if you don't, eventually the industry will collapse upon itself. So pay for your fucking porn.
Very ethically put there. So one of the fans tweets in a question to me. He says, if you could be with any person sexually, whether it be someone that's in the business, outside of the business, who would it be?
That's so broad.
Oh, it could be more than one person. If you want to have like an orgy scene, you can name a couple people.
No, but I don't think about this kind of stuff. Ever. That's like so not my mind frame.
So you don't like watch a movie and are like, oh, I'd fuck that guy. Like I would really like to hook
but
up
I
with
never
her.
pay attention to what their name is.
That's how a lot of guys' experiences are. They don't really know the chick's name.
Yeah, I got no idea. Like, I mean, I've watched movies and been like, oh, yeah, you're hot. But I never pay attention to the credit part at the end.
Well, maybe. What if it were somebody
I've
famous?
done it with girls, too.
Well, what if it's somebody that, like, you don't need to read the credits. It's somebody that's, like, so established and well-known that you just know who that person is. Like, I know who Scarlett Johansson is, and I don't watch a lot of her movies.
Everybody says Scarlett Johansson. That's just a cop-out. I mean,
but
like,
I do it, and you know you do
bang
it.
Her?
Yeah, but you do it too.
But like
on.
that's why it's a cop out. It's not an actual answer because I don't think anyone on the face of the earth would say no to that.
This is true. And if you are, then
men.
Yeah, and if you did, they could probably hit up your parents because they're real good with that psychological bullshit. So they probably know why you're saying no to her, or maybe they don't. I don't know.
It would have to be okay. There's 2, either or both, I guess. Anna Paquin,
okay,
because she's hot and she looks like me, and that would be cool. And then the girl who plays Khaleesi in Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. Her,
nice,
definitely.
Nice. So I would definitely pay for the porn on that one. I want to see that on video on demand.
Yeah, right.
So what is like I said, I'm just trying to scroll through a bunch of these questions here. What is something that you would want to change about yourself? Is there something that you don't like about yourself, whether it be physical or personality wise?
No, I don't think I would change myself, honestly. I mean, maybe I would cartel myself a little bit more and not be quite so blunt now that I know people out here aren't like that.
Yeah, you're scaring people off. They're all like, this chick's bitchy. What's her problem?
I mean, I lived in Boston for 22 years. That's like a lot of learned behavior. Like,
yeah, it takes a while to get rid of that.
Like, well, and part of it is just kind of now bred into me, you know? Like...
Well, like I said to you on Twitter, like West Coast girls versus East Coast girls, it's bigger than like Tupac and Biggie. Like you either like West Coast girls and you love the fact that like they're quiet and just kind of like, you know, are laid back, or you like the aggressiveness. East Coast girls. Or if you like the aggressiveness of East Coast girls, it's something that's like.
Oh no, it's really funny. I run a model house, and every time a new girl comes in, it has consistently been if you're from the East Coast, we get along fantastic, and if you're from the West Coast. It's not that we don't get along. It's just there's a bigger chance that we're not going to get along.
So do you put that out there first?
Happened. No, I'm the kind of like kid that pays attention to like weird statistics and shit like that. So I noticed it one day. I was like, wow, that's really weird. I like every girl that comes in from the East Coast, but like I would say I like 2 out of 3 of every girl from the West Coast.
Well, that's not.
Depends on where
That's
you come from
good
on the West
odds.
Coast.
Yeah, that's good odds.
Yeah,
Though.
no, I like most people. I get along with most people, but traditionally it has been the West Coast that I have the most trouble getting along with, actually.
So name something that you would still like to do in the business that you haven't done yet, whether it be a certain type of scene, work with a certain type of person. What is something that you still want to accomplish that you have yet to accomplish? Do you have like goals?
Okay, well, this is a very idealistic goal. I'm not going to put a time limit or frame on it. All I really want to do in the adult industry, I want to win Best Oral. That's really it. So however I do that will make me happy.
Practicing.
It's not even practicing. It's just whatever scenes get produced.
Well,
you know.
what's your technique with that? Like, how do you feel like you could probably win that?
I can't explain it. No, see, I can't. I'm really not able to teach this skill set to anybody. I've tried. It doesn't work. You can either deep throat or you can't. Like it's part genetic and part how you think and the way your throat is shaped, and you can't. It's literally either you can or you can't.
So there you have it. All those people out there that are trying and gagging and getting all teary-eyed. Maybe
you're never gonna get over it.
Yeah, maybe it's just not.
You're never gonna get over it.
So
no, I promise you're never gonna get over it. Like it's just not. It's kind of like anal for some people. It just doesn't happen.
Now, is there anything you wouldn't do that you wouldn't just be like, it's just totally off the table, like, or is everything kind of like up for discussion?
I will never ever do anything illegal.
Well, we appreciate that, and the law appreciates that. But I mean, is there any kind of scenes where you're like, no?
Free putting that out there. Well, because sometimes you're on that weird edge of, is this legal? Like, for example, I was doing a scene and they had me tied up, but I couldn't have my legs bound a certain way because it wouldn't be consent if my legs were bound.
Really?
So they had to unbind my legs so that technically it wouldn't be rape, which I thought was stupid. I'm like, no, I'm cool with this. I'm consenting. I'm fine. And they're like, no, we can't.
That'd be awesome if just in a video you're just screaming like, I'm consenting. I'm consenting. This is new news to me. So this is like, there's just like inner rules to porn and like state laws and stuff that I would never even guess.
It's not really rules of porn or state laws. It comes down to what Visa will and will not accept.
So I guess it's like bestiality and shit like that.
Decides whether or not, bestiality, urine, like water work, like peeing in someone's mouth. I don't really, Visa doesn't like that too much. There's like a couple things, incest.
Mm-hmm. But the crazy thing is like you say you can't have your legs bound.
Blood,
but then,
you're not allowed to have blood.
Yeah, well, I mean, that one will almost be like a no-brainer. But it's just almost like you can't do certain things.
You would think that would be a no-brainer, wouldn't you? But no.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you could probably do certain things, and you would think that it'd be totally, like, cool, and then it's not. And then vice versa. Like, there's stuff that you think would be, like...
Wouldn't think would be cool, but is, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. And that's why it's really important if you own your own site or anything like that, that you make sure you check with Visa or whoever your credit card processor is and make sure that you're within the guidelines, because all it takes is having one scene up on your website and they'll shut down your entire thing.
How awkward is that to call Visa and ask them, is it okay that I do this?
I'm pretty sure it's listed online in their terms and conditions.
Like... Chapter 17
You actually have to read them, though.
A, B.
Like, unlike, the South Park episode, if you don't want a human centipede yourself, read fucking Visa's terms and regulations.
I would suggest reading that first before calling them, because you would probably get hung up on. Because they probably think you're pranking them at that point. So
maybe not. I mean, I think they've gone through it with enough adult people at this point that
so
you might not be surprised.
I want to talk about cocktails. And I don't mean the drinks. I
Mm-hmm.
mean your radio show.
My
Tell
radio
us
show,
about
yeah.
this.
It's hosted by me and Allison Moore every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can see it on our website, Radio Temptation. It's a live broadcast. We also have podcasts or broadcasts that have been saved that you can watch. You can see all the previous shows. This week we have Tara Patrick coming on, which is really exciting. I'm super
She's
excited
awesome, by
about
the way.
it.
Yeah, love Tara Patrick.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited and slightly starstruck. But I'll get over that by the time I get there.
It's understandable. I was the first time I met her.
She's just so pretty. But yeah, no, we talk about basically the interactions that we have on sets in the industry, favorite sex positions, sex toys, ways to spice up your sex life, while having a signature cocktail every week. So each week we have a different drink. So it's basically girl talk that you get to listen in on.
Very awesome. So it's like the new age Dr. Ruth.
Kind of.
I'm aging myself when I say that. People are like, who? They're like Googling.
I know who Dr. Ruth is.
People are Googling it right now. Like, Dr. Ruth's sex scene. What the hell is this? Oh my God,
no,
what is that?
Old. What are you talking about?
She's like a
I know who
gilf.
Dr. Ruth is. I'm not kidding.
Is she still alive, by the way? Does anybody know that? Anybody know if Dr. Ruth's still ticking?
Have not heard that she died, and I'm pretty sure that would be at least industry front page news.
It probably would. It'd probably be all over TMZ.
It would be on AVN or XBiz or one of those.
Yeah, it would definitely be on TMZ
outlets.
next to Jay-Z getting his ass beat in an elevator. So
probably would be on TMZ.
Yeah. So speaking of that, like, what kind of music do you listen to? I know, I mean, you mentioned your.
Oh, wow. I listen to a lot of different kinds of music. I'm all over the map.
Like, what is the big thing in Boston? Like, what did you grow up listening to?
A lot of different things. My dad really liked Van Morrison, so there was a lot of that when I was growing up. Bob Dylan was another big one. Bob Marley. A lot of that stuff. Then my mom really liked Enya. So
Okay.
I got that side of it.
I apologize for that.
And then I, of course, listened to Kiss 108. I mean, I think every teenager does that at some point. And Mix 98.5. I'm shocked that I remember these numbers. And then there was Jam in 94.5. Wow, I have not listened to any radio in Boston in years, and I can remember those numbers.
That's awesome. So we're giving them shout outs on the if they ever listen to this.
So I grew up listening to what every teenager kind of listened to, what was trending. You can find it on Pandora now. It's summer hits of the 2000s, if you ever want to wander down that alley. Now it's like a mix of electronic, there's some country, there's just some house, there's some just everything. It's really whatever mood I'm in is the music I play. If I'm pissed, I'm playing heavy metal. If I'm hyper, I'm playing dubstep, it just depends.
So there you have it. So the many different eclectic music choices by Miss Jenna J. Ross.
Yeah, all over the map.
Yeah, spinning your favorite jams right there on, Jenna J. Record Radio, something crazy like that. But, well, we appreciate you coming on. And I always tell people, make sure you let everybody know where they can find you at online, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, all of those stuff that I don't even know about yet. Where can they find you?
The simplest way is to go on Twitter, and you can follow me. It's at Jenna J. Ross. From there, there's a little, website. It's called It's My URL. If you click on that, underneath there is every place on the internet you could ever want to find me.
And it does work, because I clicked on it earlier.
Yeah,
and I was like,
work.
oh, sweet, this is awesome. I got all for, free ones. I got her Tumblr, and it's just awesome. All kinds of
everything.
Greatness. Yes.
I think there's even links to my pages that have all my scenes on them.
Nice. So it's all everything right there.
Everything is there. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you calling in and talking to us a little bit. And is there anything you want the fans to know before you leave? Anything that we didn't touch on it?
No, I think we covered all the bases quite well.
So I rounded all the bases with Jenna J. Ross. I love that.
Home run.
So again, we appreciate
you. Off the green monster.
Yeah, off the green monster. You know what I mean? Well, I appreciate you
Absolutely.
calling in, talking to us a little bit, and we expect to see big things from you. Make sure you check her out on Cocktail Radio, and yeah, check out her scenes and pay for her fucking scenes, man. Do that.
Yes.
Definitely pay for them. No free porn here. Check it out on there. You check the interview out on mixmasterbeat.com. We appreciate you again. We'll be talking to you real soon.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Not a problem. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye. This is Jenna J. Ross, and you're listening to Mix Master B on MMB Radio.